So why isn't this a runaway train? For example, Greg Maynard, who is here, I saw earlier, from Boston Policy Institute, really brought in his article to light the fact that his view is it's not a one-time event here that can be smoothed out with a temporary 3-year shift. I mean, which would seem to suggest that ultimately, like every single family, we all have to think about tightening our belts in one way or another, and you certainly have spoken about those efforts. But what kind of data or assurances do you have that this is something that is not going to, over long term, put a monkey wrench into the state and the governor's incredibly focused efforts on competitiveness for Massachusetts?
In the years ahead, we do not expect that the budget growth will be at the level that it was at as we were adjusting up basically every single union contract. And so there's a very tight belt around cities with Prop 2.5. We are limited 2.5% property tax increase. In the 43 years since that has been the law, that has been on average 25% below inflation every single year. And so we're always scrambling to try to find new revenue sources, and unfortunately we'll probably be back at some point in the future to talk to you all about that. But the downtown vacancy situation, we really won't know until we see how this pans out in the commercial real estate market. What we do know now is that it's isolated to a particular subsection of commercial offices. It's not affecting hotels. It's not affecting some of our Class A++ buildings. It's really about older office buildings that are seeing those smaller companies not wanting to come in person anymore, and they're really struggling. And so our efforts have been focused on how do we fill up these same buildings with more companies now. We've been dedicating resources, working alongside the chamber and real estate industry leaders to our business recruitment efforts, and the focus with the governor on climate tech and what types of industries we are pursuing. There's an opportunity there to fill up those spaces and stem that vacancy loss. There will be shifts in the market, but we did see a couple months ago the very first sign that office space was it was a net positive absorption of office space. And so more companies were either renewing their leases or choosing to move to Boston, given the rents coming down a little bit. And so we don't know for sure how this will pan out, but we are doing everything that we can to address the long-term issues while also recognizing that there is this immediate short-term need for our residents.